Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here, this time reviewing on the film, The Invincible Iron Man. Now, as you know, The Invincible Iron Man is a 2007 animated superhero film that is meant to be based on the iconic character Tony Stark. And the point of Tony Stark's origin in this film is meant to be a more update to his original origin, but instead of it being in Vietnam, it's meant to take place in China. And I remember when I first watched this, I felt a little offended by some of its portrayal, and when doing it again, I still feel a little bit offended. Now, the premise of the film is meant to be about Tony Stark, who travels to China after Rhodey and that get ambushed and attacked by the Jade Dragons, led by Wong Chao, whose goal is to sort of prevent the temple from being risen that contains the Mandarin. And of course, Tony Stark eventually designs his armor, and him and Rhodey escape, and their goal is to sort of prevent the other rings from being found. Now, this is kind of like where I do think the movie has something good, but at the same time, it does get a little offensive, like portraying the Chinese as gun-wielding guerrilla force task members, even though they could have had the Jade Dragon be a society that are kind of this group that kind of prevent the Mandarin from coming. But this one, it's just portraying it as anti-Western. But this is just how I see it. And of course, when you kind of got Lee May as one of the members, she kind of acts as Tony's love interest instead of Pepper. And Lee May's character, that there's more truth about her, but she's not really interesting. And I feel there was a lot of portrayal they could have done with her. And I feel with Pepper in this one, yeah, they go with a slightly British kind of mid-30s woman. And of course in this one, Howard Stark is alive and kind of plays the role of being sort of the counterpart to Tony, which is a little bit similar to Iron Man Armored Adventures. Now, the differences I would say with Iron Man Armored Adventures was that Howard's role in this was similar to Ryan Steele's father from VR Troopers. I feel when you kind of got his father, you can kind of tell he wants to do the right thing. You can tell there was moments they could have done more with Howard Stark, but they just put him aside. And of course, the movie's plot is generic. It tries to go with something big, but really doesn't. And yeah, when they sort of build the Mandarin for the climate, it doesn't really feel rewarded. It feels like they had to throw him in to sort of make this big thing, and you expect Tony to take him down, even though it just kind of comes off as a last-minute thing. And yeah, you even got Fin Fang Foom, who is in the film as well, as the guardian of the Mandarin's temple. And keep in mind, in the comics, Fin Fang Foom is connected to the Mandarin. So you can kind of tell they had to try and connect some things from Iron Man's comics, as well as things connected from the Mandarin, to mix it together. And I think, while the movie can be offensive, I still think the plot's there, but it just feels wasted. And I feel like, yeah, like I said in my review for Doctor Strange the Sorcerer Supreme a couple years ago, that this film and Doctor Strange shares the same continuity with its almost similar art style. And I feel the problem with the ending, if they had it that Tony sort of looks at the armors and then decides to become a hero and trying to form his own company, this would have had him stepping away from his father's shadow. But it just comes across like they needed to give him a sort of redemption arc for his father, even though it feels a little enforced. And in general, the Invincible Iron Man is a little offensive with portraying Chinese culture, but at the same time, it's not one of the best movies. So I think it deserves a thumbs down. Not great, not good, and not one of the best. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.